Hello, my name is Brother Sean, and I would like to share with you a brief synopsis of what my heart is saying to us about the current state of the world situation right now. Many people ask me what is going to happen in 2012, and bearing in mind many journalists and light workers of integrity are inclined to act more on the fear factor than really come to this from the heart. There is substantial evidence, and it has been written over 2,000 years ago by St. John in the book of Revelation. But the story of the matter is this wake-up call that we're having with the various global events throughout the world would appear that they're only short-acting. Mankind is not taking heed of the warnings from Mother Earth. That is sad, and it is deeply worrying that society has become totally complacent to world events because it doesn't involve them personally. But on a global scale, we have to come to this from a mindset of love and look at the gift that we have been given by God, creation. Now I know Mother Earth is weeping at man's inhumanity to man. And 2012 is not a storybook or a child's play or a story that's fictitious. It's reality. It is happening. And as I'm speaking to you, the earth is ascending. And all the recent events that have taken place, in particular Japan, that is a wake-up call from Mother Earth, from the divine, to all of us to come back into our heart and surrender our heart to love, to cease our hostilities, our aggression, our violence towards self and towards others. But will man take heed? The majority I doubt, because recently I sent out an email to over 2,000 of our database. And when I went live yesterday on Sunday the 20th of March, we did 1 hour 15 minutes of a synopsis of end-time prophecies, and only 7 watched. Now, the 7 who watch regularly the live stream recordings, but it's disheartening for them because they are removing themselves from the wider picture, and their denial or their refusal or maybe their fear is preventing them from making the necessary preparation to empower their higher self, their divinity, which will live forever. Let me explain. Some of the notes that I shared yesterday are as follows. We're very aware indeed, as monastics, as people who live and have embraced a spiritual life, not religion, not dogma, and as a Christian Franciscan living the solitary contemplative life, I am independent of a mainstream Christian church through choice, but I also embrace interfaith spirituality. And these are my notes from yesterday. Though society still continues to level all blame for all the world's ills at God, and what mankind fails to recognize is, it is not God who is the culpable person here, but mankind for not honoring the divine within their being and surrendering their heart to the mystical heart of a loving Father, Mother God, of all faiths and none. From time immemorial, God has sent not 1, not 1,000, but trillions of ascended beings of light, many of whom already share our universe today. So who are these messengers of God? There are far too many to list here, but a few I will share with you. You're familiar, if you've read the Bible, of Abraham, Moses, and Enoch, particularly Enoch, who gave us the Enoch scrolls, who established the Essenic brotherhood and sisterhood 8,000 years ago on Mount Sinai, of which Jesus was a member. Then we've got the mystery schools. We've got Jesus, the Lord Buddha, Muhammad. We've got Gandhi, Krishna, Vishnu, Ganesh. We've got Paramahansa Yogananda. We've got St. Francis of Assisi, Sri Chimoy, the great St. Teresa of Avila, Therese of Lisieux, Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, Diana. There's Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Martin Luther King, Archbishop Romero, just to name a few. And though none of them actually talked about end times, they were ambassadors of peace, and they demonstrated God's love in their lives and in their action and ministry. When we reflect what is happening today in our beautiful world, it is not surprising to see the many faces of evil being exposed for what they really are. The Antichrist is not some designer outfit or a delicious dessert that we can buy at Marks and Spencer's. We were told by Jesus himself that he would leave us for 2,000 years and that he would return, and that in the interim period the world and all of us would come under the influence of the Antichrist, who would seek to destroy the divine light of hope within our hearts. Jesus did assure us that he would return. When? Well, the 21st of December 2012 is a significant time for all of us. It has been well prophesied, it has been predicted. You only have to look at the indigenous Mayans and their calendar, which ends on that date. But the cosmic Christ energies are coming through. They really are coming through, and the world is ascending to a higher vibrational level of consciousness. Many would have you believe that the Antichrist is a child's story of make-believe. Trust me here when I say that the Antichrist is real, and his sole agenda is to take you off your path and have you follow your ego and not your heart. And I personally have met with him 3 times in my life, as a young nursing monk, and again later on in my life, when I had to face some real issues around child abuse, because I lived in fear for best part of 58 years. Now I'm free. I'm free because I surrendered my heart. But what I would say to you is, what I share here with you is not for you to believe in a false ideology, but to run this through your own filters and be guided by your heart. Once we do what he bids, the Antichrist that is, and fall prey to his deviousness, then we are locked in his evil mindset of self-idolatry and total disregard for the sacred. When God created our brothers Stalin, Pol Pot, Hitler, Gaddafi, and Mugabe, he created a child of love. Their inappropriate use of their God-given gift of free will lead them down a different path away from God's love, like many other despots who fall prey to their schemes of destruction. But God has a plan for them, and though he loves them and forgives them, they have to pay the price for what they've done to mankind. Now today God offers you 2 choices. The first choice is to surrender your heart to the divine love and experience God's abundance in your life. The second is to ignore God's personal invitation at your peril and carry on living a life of self-indulgence where the life of your soul is totally irrelevant. So what we're saying in part 1 of this series is, we are having a wake-up call from all the natural events that are occurring in the world. The tsunami several years ago in Thailand And then recently, the one in Japan was more than a wake-up call. But the majority of the world have just forgotten all about the needs of that very wealthy country